right, well, here I am on the side of the interstate. Basically what happened here is I was cruising along the street doing admittedly a couple roll races. 5 or so minutes before this all happened, I was back, had the cruise set, was just riding right along, and was going along fine. All of a sudden I hear a weird noise, supercharger locked up. So anyway, but yeah, here's my, man, that thing is locked up. So damn it, I mean, ultimately that's the better scenario versus a motor, but annoying. So that's my Jokerz ported, freshly rebuilt. Shit probably has less than gotta be less than 20,000 miles for sure, but I'll check. But anyway, so damn it, so I am stuck here. My brother, thank you Thad for coming, he's gonna come and pick me up. And actually I think what I'm gonna do is just limp it home without the supercharger on it. But I sat here long enough with my hazards and lights and everything on that now my battery's dead. So that's my initial assessment. Obviously this should spin and it does not. So I'm not crazy about the fact that there's, you know, potentially metal on top of the intercooler, but the intercooler will catch it, so it's not really the end of the world. But we're gonna see if we can't get things limping along here. So for those wondering, basically I don't have shit for tools here, but what I do have is I have like a you know, like a survival style knife, you know, or whatever. So I took that big knife on here and I've pried the belt off of the blower, and the battery is low, but it basically looks like it wants to crank. So I think I just, like I say, my lights are getting dim now and everything. So yeah, I think if we get here, get some jumpers, and we'll be at least set to continue onward gingerly. So we'll see how things go. All right, well, my brother came and picked me up, and here we are cruising right along now. Not making any boost, obviously, because the blower belt's off, but that is kind of the nice thing about this versus, like, I believe a Cobra has, you know, just like one belt for the blower and the alternator and everything. You know, obviously you couldn't do this. So anyway, we're just cruising along in our NA 5.4 pickup, getting our doors blown off by everybody else, but obviously we're not in any race, and we're gonna head home and assess the damage later. All right, so you saw the damage here. It's now many months later here, and I'm gonna go and try and get this thing out and about. You can see all the dust on it. It's got a good paint job, or pretty decent, but wow, that dust is terrible. So we're gonna get in there. The battery is absolutely cooked. It sat out here in the winter, so this was, I mean, it was cold in this garage. It would have been freezing temps for sure. So anyway, we got a few things to do to get it ready for the season. So as you can see, the supercharger belt, that's the front belt on a Lightning. It has two belts, one for the accessories and one for the supercharger. You can see the supercharger is like locked up. That's why I had to take the belt off to get it home. So that's how I got home. For your information, not that I was giving it more than 20% throttle to get home. I mean, obviously I was basically limping it home, but it drives basically fine. You know, you start it up like normal, it drives like normal, and it sounds basically normal. So anyway, the first thing I'm going to work on here is this battery. It was pretty weak last summer. I could kind of sense that it was going out. It's getting to be that age, and it's a crappy Walmart one. I'm going to take that out and replace it. I have a little bit better option here. Okay, so this is the battery I went with as a replacement. You can see the part number there, BXT65850. And so this was just, you can get those actually at like O'Reilly's and those types of places, but I wanted a Ford battery because these Walmart ones, the ever start never starts, are just troublesome. So let's get that swapped out pretty easy. Alright, so the battery's in, and we'll see if we have any life in the cab here. Well, we have dome lights. That's good, more than we had just a minute ago. So what I'm gonna do is now check the oil, make sure, obviously it should have oil, but I also wanna make sure that there's not a bunch of fuel in the oil and stuff like that, because it had E85 sitting in it all winter. Alright, so we should be good there. There's oil in it. You could use a change, I'm sure, but it's not over full. That was what I was actually worried about. So we'll go ahead and it's at least good enough to start up. It always starts kind of hard on E85 as is, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, well, the blower has just been pulled off of there, and you can see there was definitely some interference going on here. Little flakes of junk in there. Thank God this thing's intercooled, because it probably would have caught, I would say, 99% of it. So anyway, that's kind of a bummer, because I can about guess what's going to be on the bottom side of this. Alright, well, she's still absolutely locked up here. I can't see, you know, really anything going on here other than bypass works yet. There's chunks of metal stuck in there. So it's definitely gonna need some looking at, I think, at this point. Probably get it sent off and looked at professionally. Alright, so I was just examining this a little closer, and if you look down in the back here, you can see metal piled up in the back there. I mean, I'm sure if I got a pry bar or something down in here, I could probably free these up, at least to roll them around, but that wouldn't do us any good for anything. So it's gonna need some pro attention for sure. Part of me wants to I'll probably take the plenum off here and take a peek from that end as well. Alright, well, as you can see, this side is really kind of the damaged side here. The end of the rotor is all screwed up. You can see there's piled metal here, here. There's almost like a puddle right there. So, dang it, that sucks. But, not sure what exactly happened, but just let go, I guess. I was able to take an extension and pound it backwards. I actually pressed on here, and or actually this rotor right here, and was able to free the rotors up at least enough here. So now possibly they might come out. We'll have to see, but they were dead locked. Now at least I have a, I don't know, quarter turn. Alright, so here's the rotor pack pulled out of my supercharger here. It actually came out kind of nice once I got going. And you can see just little piles of metal on the ends of the rotors. And just kind of packed in there. That must be where most of it came from, was that area right there. Another big draw right there. Undercut quite a bit. And then here's the case. If I look down in there, not terrible. See, it wiped out the end a little bit. So anyway, I don't know if that's savable or what the status is with that, but at least it's taken apart and I can see what I'm dealing with now.